Everyone, myself Vaibhav. In today's session, we are seeing that the Dow Jones Industrial Average is dipping on the lower side after getting closer to its prior all-time high. So this is, I think, is the double top formation, and we are likely to see the Dow Jones correcting from these levels, and we can say that the topping out formation is in place. So we will see how we can try to capitalize on this situation in today's session of market movers. If we consider the data docket for the day, we got these initial jobless claims for the United States, and contrary to the expectations, we saw that the jobless claims remaining on the higher side at around 860K for the week ended 13th of February. And given the uptake which we have seen recently in the other economic data, the expectations were of lot lower number, even below the 800K mark. But as I said, this is kind of surprising. But I think this might be one off. In coming weeks. We will see the US initial jobless claims ticking lower. Moving on to the commodity space, just a couple of minutes back, we got the WTI crude oil inventory data, and here there is a substantial drawdown, reduction in inventories of the light crude oil, and we are seeing the drawdown of more than 7 million barrels, and this is going to be helpful for the elevated light crude oil prices, and in next couple of sessions also I think the trend is likely to remain on the higher side only, and given the backdrop of these production cuts, we are not expecting any relief in the pricing of the light crude oil, and as a result of that we will have to try and adapt to this bullish trajectory in the crude oil prices, and look for the trading opportunities accordingly. But for today's session, I'm more focused on the equity and currency space, so I will not be going into the technicals of the light crude oil. So moving back to the Dow Jones Industrial Average, let's start with the Dow Jones Industrial Average first. This is the daily time frame chart, and here last couple of sessions the Dow Jones Industrial Average has traded in a very tight range, and even in yesterday's session I had talked about the scalping opportunities, and as per yesterday's anticipation, the Dow indeed tried to move on the higher side and got closer to its swing high, but from there on, it has been all downhill after finding resistance closer to 31,700 mark. And if we count from the top, it is lower by more than 1 percentage point. And in the near term, this is going to change the trajectory of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and it will be better for us to look for shorting opportunities from short to medium term perspective while utilizing the highs established recently as our decisive marker. Anything above that, anything which goes on to establish the new all-time high, will be considered as a reversal of sort from the short-term perspective. But as long as Dow is trading below the recent swing highs, we can continue to look for shorting opportunities in today's session as well as in next couple of sessions. So if we have to look for the fresh opportunities, I think the price zone of around 31,500 is going to be of high importance, and anything closer to that is going to provide us the optimum risk reward ratio also, as our stop loss will be fairly sharp of around only 1 percentage point, and the probability is also going to be not favorable for making profit. And on the lower side, I think we can expect the dip to get closer to 31,000. So furthermore, there is this possibility of decline towards this immediate support, and if that is going to happen, we can indeed try to look for entry points in today's session itself. And I think just before the start of the US session, 1 hour before that, we had this breakout on the lower side below this yesterday's closing swing lows, and after that the decline accelerated, and now we have gotten closer to these prior swing lows, the consolidation phase lows, And if we do get the breakout on the lower side, even below this, then as I said, it is going to be all downhill at least till 31,000 mark, and that is going to provide us the opportunity to profit of at least 1 percentage point on the lower side, and we will have to take a bit of risk here. I feel that if we are fortunate enough to get any entry anywhere closer to 31,400 mark, while keeping the stop loss closer to this today's high or this prior swing high zone of around 31,700 should be good enough. And on the lower side, the risk reward ratio is not exactly 1 is to 2, which is what we look for in most of the trading sessions on market movers. But given the likelihood of making a profit in this trade, I think we can take our chances. And if the momentum holds, and if we see the continuation of the bearishness, then we can even hold on to our trades and wait for the breakout even below 31,000 mark, and that would be a great opportunity. So here, this 200 SMA zone is what we need to concentrate on, and as long as price action is below this immediate resistance, I think we can be hopeful of profiting from these changing dynamics in the Dow Jones Industrial Average while keeping the stop loss closer to this recent swing high. Moving on to the USD JPY. The USD JPY had gotten closer to its recent swing high, closing high of around 105.5, and from there on it had picked up pace in today's session and now trying to climb back. And I think given this fresh breakout above this crucial resistance zone, it will be in a bullish trajectory only, at least for next couple of sessions. So we will have to look for opportunities where the risk reward ratio is going to be optimum, and to that extent I think we can rely on these first resistance of this month's pivot point series, and which is there around 105.5. In today's session also we saw the reversal happening after getting close to that level, not exactly 105.5 but close enough at 105.6. And now, if we consider these both the technical formations of pivot point series as well as the regression curve, both are pointing northwards, which means we will have good chance of being on the profitable side if we choose to go along with the trend and not against the trend. So here the trend is our friend, and we will look to profit from that. And for us to decide on the optimum opportunities, I think if we get the break above this today's morning high, which is there around 105.9, that should be a good start. And I am advising to buy on the rise, not on the deep here. And if we see these recent gains which have come in last hour only, if these gains last, if these gains are sustained, and in the latter hours of the day if we see further up move, then we should try to look for the buying opportunities while keeping the stop loss closer to this immediate swing low, which is there around 105.6. So you can wait it out for a couple of hours, and maybe after the start of Asian trading session we will have better idea of how the price action is behaving in the near term. If we see these gains are sustained, then that will give us more confidence of the continuation of the upward trajectory in the USD JPY. And in near term, I am expecting further move toward these near term highs of around 106.2. So we will have this opportunity for us to look for buy trade anywhere closer to 105.9, and for that we need the USD JPY to sustain its momentum and hold on to its gain, and then we can of course try to get involved for the fresh trades in tomorrow's session. So that's it from my side for today's session. If any of you have any idea or any query to share, you can write to me in the feedback in comment section, and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. Have a fabulous day ahead. Do subscribe to the Lucoscopy webinar channel to stay updated on the market developments. Thank you all. Goodbye.